Says he accepts a critical report of the spending habits of his predecessor, Alison Redford. Dave Hancock says he will take immediate action to implement the recommendations. The audit says Redford used public money, including a government jet, for personal purposes. Redford resigned her seat yesterday, months after quitting as premier. This amid the allegations of misspending. Our Carolyn Dunn is in Calgary. She has the details of the report.
It was very blunt language in this Auditor General's report that we've been waiting for. It found that Premier Redford and her office used public resources inappropriately. It found that they failed to demonstrate the necessity of some of their travel, basically meaning that they went with the pricier option without any justification. It also found that Premier Redford and her office used public assets, which are airplanes, for personal and partisan purposes. And it found that basically they ignored the rules. But what was really perhaps most explosive was the language used around why this happened. The Auditor General says that there was an aura of power around Premier Redford, and that there was just this sense of entitlement and a tone that no one thought that they could question the Premier and her office's expenses. Now, that obviously is not going over well in current government circles. Premier Hancock came out with a statement almost immediately following the release of the Auditor General's report, saying that there had been a break in public trust and that he would take the 6 recommendations from the Auditor General seriously and implement them immediately. And Solicitor General Jonathan Dennis said that he would refer the entire matter to the RCMP for review to see if there was any criminal investigation or criminal charges necessary.
Carolyn, how could you prevent, according to the Auditor General's report, how could you prevent another premier from using public funds for personal or partisan purposes?
Well, basically, the Auditor General is looking in 6 recommendations for a review, an overhaul of the entire transportation system. Clearly, he is calling for more oversight on expenses and what is right and what is wrong. And he is calling for the policy to be rewritten so that it is even much more clear than it is now, to make sure that there is no mistaking and no ignoring of those rules. And that is what Premier Hancock says that he is going to implement immediately. So things are going to get much, much tighter with the government of Alberta. You can bet on that.
That's CBC's Carolyn Dunn in Calgary. The opposition Wildrose Party has been quick to react to the audit. It says the report points to problems with government spending that are broader than Alison Redford.
This report, all 44 pages, tells the story of an entire government completely off the rails. No oversight on how money has been spent. No backbone to question decisions or stand up to power. And absolutely no regard, right across the board, for the money and the resources entrusted to them by the taxpayers of Alberta.
Alberta Wildrose Party MLA Kerry Towle responding to the audit released today.
Putin's failure to end his support to armed rebel groups